This place has been in the railfan press, I guess, for a number of years, and I had been thinking about visiting it. It's quite a drive out there, though. It's 460 some miles, I think, but it definitely was worth the trip. This outfit used to be in Morgan Run, Ohio. It's in Ciocciola County out there, not too far away from Sugar Creek. And when they built this place, they moved all their stuff, I guess almost all of it, over here. So on May the 19th, I took what they call a blue flag tour. And the tours are held a couple times a year. And the attraction really is that you get to look at some stuff that's not open to the general public. They're open a lot of weekends, you know, just for the daisy pickers that come in. So they don't take them back into the shop where the restoration work is going on. So this is the station area, and this is what you see when you come through the gate. So station/visitor center, there's a replica of the bay window of a typical 1920s station, since that's the era that they're portraying here. It was nice to see a couple of younger people attending instead of a bunch of old farts all the time. This beautiful model of the Four Aces, which I think is what they call this engine, which was used to demonstrate the Timken roller bearings back, I guess it was in the 30s. Of course, everybody, they gave us a little talk on safety instructions. And they also gave us a bag which contained safety equipment, which included a mask and earplugs and goggles, which you'll see we needed later. But first, we got taken to the Roundhouse for a tour. You'll notice that the whole place is immaculate. You could eat off the floor almost. A couple of sister engines to this 1293 used to be used in around here quite a while, and I guess the late 60s, early 70s. It was 1286, I think, and 1238. Why this engine has a sign on the front under the headlight there that says Lindbergh, I don't recall what that meant, what that means. This was our docent. He was very enthusiastic, and he explained all these engines as we were led through the Roundhouse area. The brick that they used here was replicated to be similar to what was used in the 1920s. And there was a architect there with us, part of our group, and he pointed out some of the things that these bricks around the edge of the windows here that frame the windows have a rounded edge, which was common at that time. And also the bricks, while they're essentially the same height, you know, top to bottom that we see today, they were narrower from left to right. So again, that was replicated, and they found some brickworks in Pennsylvania that made the bricks for them. I recall this probably back around 1969 or 70. I recall seeing one of these down at Fort Eustis. One of the stories they like to tell, because this place is so clean. Apparently they were backing one of the engines out and it was under steam. And the engineer moved the throttle back and the engine didn't move. So then he moved it back quite a bit more. And it gave out this big puff of black smoke. And somewhere in here on those beams on the roof is a black spot. From big to little. Again, even outside, you notice how clean everything is. In the background, you can see this framework here. It runs from left to right behind the turntable. That's the start of a new building to house a lot of the additional equipment that they have, such as these engines. Now, they did mention that the plan ultimately is to restore all these engines to their original paint scheme from their original owners. Now, right now, they only have 300 or 400 feet of track that they can actually operate on. And down at the end here in the direction that we're looking is a connection to Ohio Central, which is an active, I guess it's a regional. I don't know if you call it a short line. And this proves that I was indeed there. We all got to take our turn at the operating the hand car. A little harder to get moving than you might think. Dave, could you let that guy in? It's my son-in-law.
He's coming in.
Now, this guy demonstrated a lot of the aspects of track work, and he could drive spikes with one arm. I was amazed. This was the engine that was operable that day. And we all got to ride in the cab. It was hot and dirty. Obviously, you wouldn't operate this thing on 300 or 400 feet of track, so they're waiting for negotiations with Ohio Central to be able to operate on their line before they're going to restore any of these bigger engines. Now, this guy does all their stenciling, and all those stencils are made by hand. And he tries to be very accurate. He has all kinds of drawings and other references, so he gets them exactly correct. Here's some of the more elaborate ones. This gentleman demonstrated the grinding of the crosshead here. And they try to, all the engines that are on display, they try to clean them up as best they can with the grinding wheel. We all got to try this. And that's why we needed the glasses and the earplugs and so forth and the gloves. It's a very slow process. I don't know who that guy is. Well, this is the last slide, and truthfully, I would recommend anybody go out there and take this tour. Even though it's a long drive, the cost is $175, and I felt it was well worthwhile. And it was a really interesting place. All the people that work there are extremely enthusiastic, very friendly. And it was, like I say, well worth the trip. And as an aside, there are a number of tourist attractions close by. This is an Amish area here, and you see the horses and buggies all over the place riding up and down those hills. It was very interesting.
Thank you, Fred.
You're welcome.